a recent Facebook post, Bev Curtis said she wanted to like something over 100 zillion times. Well, unfortunately, you can only like something one time. But that got me thinking to how much do we actually like other people's posts? How many likes am I accumulating over the course of my entire lifetime? And is it possible for me to actually like 100 zillion different things? Well, if we want to know if somebody can actually like 100 zillion things, first we gotta figure out how big is 100 zillion?
According to Wolfram Alpha, a zillion isn't really a number at all. A zillion is a term that we use to describe a ridiculously large number. It doesn't actually reflect any quantity. Wikipedia has a list of large numbers: millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions. They go all the way from 10 to the 3 all the way up to 10 to the 303. That's a centillion. That's the highest number that Wikipedia records.
So let's say that a zillion is the next step after a centillion. So that would put 1 zillion at about 1 times 10 to the 306. So how big is really 1 times 10 to the 306? Well, if you were to take the number of atoms in the universe and you were to multiply that by 1 billion, and then times 1 billion, and then times 1 billion, 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 then you would have the amount in a zillion. So 100 zillion is a pretty big number. If you wanted to like 100 zillion different things on Facebook, you're gonna need to be pretty dedicated. Either that, or you could have a program do it for you.
So I wrote a program in MATLAB. The program looks at Facebook and it says, where is the like button? It does this by doing some basic image processing. After it identifies the location of the like button, it clicks that. On average, this program was able to do about 2 likes per second. That's pretty good. Now, we can like statuses 24 hours a day.
So if you were born tomorrow and then lived to be 105 years old, you would get about this many likes in your lifetime. And this is how many likes we were actually shooting for. Clearly, we need more help. Few causes have I ever heard that were so noble as this one, to get 100 zillion likes. So I think if we were to recruit the entire human population, nobody would really blink an eye.
So this is what we could achieve when one person devotes their life to this goal. We could substantially increase those numbers if all 7.1 billion people on Earth were working with us. Needless to say, we have a long way to go. At this rate, the number of years it will take to reach our goal is immense. It's going to be a huge task. The question is, can humanity last long enough to actually complete the task?
So let's assume that this goal of reaching 100 zillion likes leads to world peace, and the risk of nuclear warfare is over. Well, there are still a number of other things that might get in our way and stop us from reaching our goal. First of all, there's asteroids. Those things wiped out the dinosaurs, they could wipe out us. That's not necessarily the biggest problem on our hands, though.
The sun. The sun is amazing, but it will not be around forever. Like all stars, the sun has a finite lifespan. Scientists estimate that the sun has about 5 billion years left until the end of its lifespan. The death of a star is a catastrophic event, and with it, most likely, the sun will take the Earth. At this point, if we haven't found a new planet to live on, then humanity is lost. But even if we do escape the death of the sun, there are far darker things in the universe. Black holes. When a very massive star dies, a black hole is formed. A black hole is a pit where nothing can escape. All matter is drawn into black holes, and there's no possible way for it to get out. At the center of our galaxy is a supermassive black hole. All matter will eventually fall into the black holes. Once all of the matter has been sucked up, there will be no more energy left, and the universe will enter into an energyless period of time.
And after there ceases to be energy in the universe, there can be no motion. Nothing else can happen. Everything will turn cold and sit there, and there'll be nothing else that occurs, eventually leaving us with a cold death of the universe. But this is only the case if the universe is of a finite size. If in fact the universe is actually infinite, and there is infinite energy in the universe, then there's no reason why we couldn't continue to live on. There would always be new stars that we could go to, more energy for us to harvest, to build our computers, to continue liking things on Facebook. So keep your mind open, because there's a possibility that maybe we will reach those 100 zillion likes.